Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Miracle Calling Clash Super Saiyan Gohan and Goten, so otherwise known as Tech Go Bros. These are a LR unit that have just received their EZA from, well, DBZ Dokkan Battle. Now the EZA is a bit interesting. I think it's quite different to what we usually get because they were already a unit that could still kind of be really good, just had a bit of build-up problems. Now that's kind of solved, but in a different way. But let's talk about their EZA first. So they are a siblings bond lead of 170%, Goku's family lead of 170%. They greatly raise attack and raise their defense 1 turn on their 12 key, and do the same on their 18 key. They have attack and defense of 158%, which has not changed. They launch an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack compared to medium chance, and they have an additional key +1 per key sphere obtained. This is the most important change. They have key +1 and attack and defense of +10% with each attack performed, key up to 5 and attack and defense up to 100%. This also has not changed. And they have an additional attack and defense of 59% and launch an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack when your team has an ally that includes Goku attacking in the same turn. They will get an additional attack of 59% when activating the active skill or when key is 24. They will disable Rampage, which isn't that important. Their active skill massively raises attack and can be activated when HP is 59% or less when facing only one enemy. They have all in the family Super Saiyan, Golden Warrior, Kamehameha, Blazing Battle, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power as their link sets. And they are on Hybrid Saiyans, Majin Buu Saga, Full Power, Joint Forces, Movie Heroes, Goku's Family, Siblings Bond, Super Saiyans, Kamehameha, Bond of Parent and Child, Earthbred Fighters, and Power of Wishes categories. Now, we're going to be taking a look at them for the majority of the playthrough without a Goku. The main reason being is to showcase that they can still be incredibly good without a Goku present. So they are still a very solid unit, and there's two reasons because of this. One, they now have the ability to get additional key per key sphere. This solves some of their innate key issues that they had. Two, they still have an additional attack of 59% when activating the active skill or when key is 24, which means they can still hit some pretty crazy attack stats. Couple that with the fact that they have one pretty much built-in additional of 55% of 50% for a super, and the fact that they now raise defense on their super, these guys can get to some pretty good defensive numbers. We're talking like solid 500, 600k before super, which is really good. Now if you have a Goku, obviously that's with support, if you have a Goku in the rotation, things become a little bit different, and you'll see in the last couple clips that they really do kind of augment. They go from like 15 millions to 22 millions and 19 millions. They go from having 600k or 500k defense before super to having close to a million defense afterwards. So Goku does really augment them. Now you don't need a Goku for them to be good, but a Goku makes them great, and I think that kind of surmises their EZA. Their EZA took a unit that was probably pretty good and made them quite good, and then the EZA basically said if you have a Goku, they'll go from quite good to being really good. So it's just one of those things. I think overall it was an okay change. The fact that they make you run them with a Goku isn't the biggest issue, because barring Hybrid Saiyans, you can still easily get a Goku unit for them to link with. It's kind of why I kind of wanted to showcase how they do without a Goku. But you can see here, this has got a B-Pan active. So B-Pan's skill is active here. I think we've got no attack support outside of that. I'm going to hit some pretty meaty attack stats. Like, they can do some pretty decent damage. I also think because of their build you can go full crit and you'll tend to have a pretty good time. But you can see that their threshold is definitely lowered by not having a Goku. If we had a Goku, we'd be able to hit 20 mil with a B-Pan. In fact, you're going to see that pretty soon. You're going to see them hit 22 mil with a B-Pan on the Dokkan active. So it's pretty good to have a Goku with them. Now you've got a couple good Goku options. You've got Super Saiyan Carnival Goku, both of them pretty decently. You have the Int Super Saiyan Goku from Namek as well. So you do have some decent options when it comes to linking and to getting things done. It's just basically that you kind of have to decide how you want to run it. Like here we can see them, no Goku, full key, built up defense, looking pretty solid, lots of nice meaty support on the rotation as well, and they're looking okay, they're looking good, they're looking solid, they've got like their majority links active, and their attack stats are pretty impressive. There's nothing wrong with them without a Goku. It's just if you want to truly see the Easy 8 version, you have to have a Goku. So it's up to you whether you think that's good or bad. For me, I don't like character requirements that cannot be on all the same categories. So like, I don't mind future Gohans having Trunks requirements, because Trunks is on every category future Gohan's on except for Goku's family. In the same sense, Goku is on every category pretty much, except for Siblings Bond and Goku's family. So it's not so bad in a sense. It's just more that it feels like they locked the Easy A behind having a Goku. And since Goten and Gohan are such an obvious second slot unit, it is a little bit of a bummer that they require a first slot Goku, or for you to float 3 Gokus. Now floating 3 Gokus is not an issue actually. Surprisingly enough, it's actually not that big a problem to float 3 Goku units at all. It's actually quite relatively easy to do. Here you can see the 22 million attack set, by the way. So it's not impossible. It's just that there's quite a few, missing, like outside of the Carnival Gokus and outside of floating Gokus, you still have to have Gokus. So you either have to have 3 Gokus that you float, or you need to have 2 Gokus that you set in rotation, or you have to have 1 Goku for your set rotation. Again, not the end of the world, because there are still some pretty good Gokus. But it's just one of those things, I think. Not to mention the 2 Carnival Gokus don't have All in the Family, and All in the Family is one of those links that you really want to activate with these guys, because it massively changes their defense. Their starter turn defense changes quite substantially when you have All in the Family active, and I'm not saying they need it to be viable, but it's definitely an improvement. Overall, I like the Easy A. A little bit more restrictive than I'd like, but I think with a Goku, which is relatively achievable, I think they look really good. So I'm going to give these guys like a solid 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10. I think they're really good. I think they're reliable. I love the leader skill. I think it's great. I think they still are what they were before. They were an excellent second slot. Well, they were a good second slot unit. They're now an excellent one. In terms of link skills, prioritize All in the Family. That's pretty much all you need to do. They have no real key link skills or anything else to maybe like focus on. Golden Warrior, I guess, gives you 1 key so you can focus there. But outside of that, most of these are easy to get. Fierce Battle, Legendary Power, Kamehameha, Golden Warrior, All in the Family, Super Saiyan. Me personally, I focus on All in the Family. They're going to solve their own key issues by building up their own key and getting orbs and things like that. And you can only really get Golden Warrior, so it's not a major issue. So I go for All in the Family, and I take things from there. So I go All in the Family and then build up from the ground up, because I think that's the most important link. So they do link up pretty well with Earthbred Fighters Goku, because he not only can be a first slot tank for them, but he also gives them All in the Family, and they give him All in the Family. And that's all they both need, because they both have built-in key mechanics. So pretty good stuff. That's who I'd probably run them with, just based on how they function and how they work. But it's going to be up to you. You can fill out the rest of the links quite easily with floating sports, or just floaters in general. Their link partner that I really like them running with is Into Future Gohan, who's really solid and shares, I think, 4 or 5 great links with him, but also can act as a first slot unit. So if you don't want to use Goku, you can use Into Future Gohan, on the caveat that you do need a Trunks unit to get him there. But outside of that, everything looks pretty good, and I think they got more than enough options to make do. They link up pretty well with any Super Saiyan, Gohan, Goku, Goten, etc. That's going to be it for me. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.